Hello everyone. In this video we're going to be analyzing a unique Persian poetic form, rubai, and its capacity for conveying philosophical and mystical ideas. As a case study, we're going to go through the poems of Fayz Kashani. Fayz orchestrates different kinds of poetic forms, and the use of each form shows intentionality in his poetry. Although Ghazal is the prominent form, not only for Fayz but for many Persian poets, he uses other poetic forms like qasideh and masnavi with specific functionality. Let's start our examination with ruba'i form. Ruba'i is a two-couplet form offering encapsulated philosophical and mystical insights. The prevalent themes in Fayz Kashani's rubai are self-knowledge, divine love, intoxication, self-transcendence, the unity of existence, and Shi'i mystical theology. Fayz captures these themes through the compact form that rubai affords. Far from being descriptive snapshots, rubai is an argument of a different kind of epistemology, experiential, intuitive, and evocative. What are the advantages of rubai form? The first advantage is rubai's capacity for brevity. In just two couplets, each consisting of two hemistichs, it allows snapshots into mystical and philosophical insights. Its two-couplet structure requires philosophical precision and emotional economy. Fayz leverages this constraint to construct flashes of insight, mystical and philosophical epiphanies constructed in affectively charged manner. In one rubai, Fayz dramatizes the soul's existential bewilderment. حیران خودم که از کجا می آیم از بحر چه آمدم چرا می بایم I am bewildered at myself. Where have I come from? For what have I come? And why do I exist? خواهم به کجا رفت چو از مردودی نی دوزخ و نی بهشت را می شایم. Where shall I go, since I'm rejected, worthy of neither the hell nor the heaven? In just two couplets, Fayz questions the fundamentals of metaphysical inquiry, origin, purpose, and destination. Considering rubai's compact form, Fayz does not aim to resolve, does not aim to argue, demonstrate an argument convincing the audience on these existential metaphysical inquiries. Rather, he's invoking in us a questioning ultimately leading to bewilderment, which in itself is not failure but a starting point for self-questioning and self-discovery. Interestingly, Fayz uses the rubai form as a kind of fragmentation as philosophy. Unlike the classical forms like demonstration, argumentative approaches, which require a logical progression, a discursive step-by-step progression, the rubai offers Fayz, and by extension other Persian poets, compact insights. Each rubai is a standalone meditation, complete in itself, mirroring how spiritual unveiling, spiritual experience often occur, not through a chain of deduction, but as sudden uncovering of truth. This is mystical experience's native language, antithetical to Aristotelian logic, but perfect for poetic mysticism. The second advantage that the rubai offers is that it concludes abruptly, usually with a paradox or a twist or a volta, a sudden shift in poetic technicality at the end of each couplet. This abruptness invites reflection in the reader, awakening the reader to realization and transformation through a poetic jolt. Rubai is ideal form for paradoxes, but how do those paradoxes occur? I'm going to be discussing that in a different video, specifically dealing with such poetic devices. One of the most powerful dimensions of rubai, one of its advantages is its memorability because of its short form. Two rhyming couplets, often laced with repetition, the rubai creates a rhythmic cadence that encourages reflection and recitation, much like dhikr, that is remembrance. Like in Islamic tradition, to become God-conscious, to always be mindful of God. The individual reflects on the divine through the repetition of his names and attributes. And here, poetry imitates that. Here, poetry is a spiritual method, facilitating internalization of divine truth. The rhythm is a cognitive and emotional tool. The brevity, the rhythm and repetition of rubai makes poetry a great medium for cultivating ethical and spiritual teachings, as it allows the poet to design teachings in short aphorisms, making them easy to memorize and incarnate. Each couplet becomes a portable vessel of spiritual insight, which is crucial to mystical pedagogy, teachings meant to be carried, repeated, and meditated upon, making reading the poem an act. Importantly, here, recitation becomes a spiritual exercise. I'm going to repeat that. Recitation becomes spiritual exercise. While you're engaging with the poem, you're doing an act. You're doing a spiritual practice. Although this practice had ancient roots like in Stoic philosophy, what makes Persian poetry, Islamic mysticism, distinct is its love madness, ecstatic, divine love dimension. In this sense, comparing Stoic and Persian mystical poetics, Persian poetry takes one more step. It includes, but goes beyond, moral pedagogy, moral teaching, and it brings in that, as Plato calls, God-sent love madness into the heart of the seeker, cleansing the heart, igniting the heart to receive divine manifestations. To conclude, rubai is fundamental for Fayz's mystical-philosophical poetry, a compact, evocative form to transmit his ideas, not just transmit, to enact his ideas. Its brevity condenses complex metaphysical and mystical ideas into bite-sized forms, while its paradoxical structure and rhythmic repetition allows meditative contemplation. Unlike prose, rubai prioritizes evocation over explanation, fostering experiential understanding and inspiring transformation.
مستم ز ایاغ لا اله الا هو چیدم گل لا اله الا هو.
I am drunken from the goblet of La ilaha illahu. I picked the rose of La ilaha illahu.
اسرار ازل که در دلم پنهان بود دیدم به چراغ لا اله الا هو.
The secrets of eternity that were hidden in my heart, I beheld them in the light of La ilaha illahu.